Yo, welcome back. It is, well, we know the transmission's good. Engine's been good. So, dare I say, this is the final video of the Monte Carlo. Finally. And I realized when I posted the last video of the Monte Carlo, I realized later that day after I posted it, I started the swap on the Monte Carlo, so a roller to where we're at now a month ago. I feel like I've had this car for like 42 years because that's how much of a hassle it's been. But I've only had it like I've only had it like a month and maybe like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, because I had it about a couple weeks before I actually started the swap. But anyways, we are at the point where now we clean all this up because we know the transmission's good, and then we install our cute little Dakota Digital gauges. Now y'all are gonna ask me, what gauges are those? And I'm gonna make it so easy for you. You're still gonna ask me. That's the gauges. There. If can you read? I can't. I'm sure you can. So there's the gauges we're using. When you get gauges, Dakota Digital, for any vehicle that has an OBD2 port, I highly suggest getting this BIM. All it does is it plugs directly into your OBD2 port, and any sensors that your transmission uses, your computer puts out, it uses those to go directly from that box to your gauges, rather than you having to sit here and go through and wire every single one of these. The only one we will have to wire is, I think, fuel and oil. I've done 3 of these, but it's been a couple years. Oh, hold on, UPS is here. Okay. But yeah. I'll have to wire in the, was it headlight? Or the, which one is it? I'm trying to look for the turn signals. I don't remember. I'll remember once I start getting into it, but if not, I'll actually have to read the instructions. But we're going to clean this up. I still got to put the new alternator on there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not sure. This harness is much longer, so technically I could put it in there, but there's literally nowhere to mount the computer in there, because under the dash it's factory AC, so it has all the AC stuff. There's nowhere to put it. And then you say, oh, we'll put it under the seat. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. And then you got to pull the seat just to get to it, and then you gotta run all the wiring loom under the carpet, and it's just the whole hassle. I prefer to keep the computers in the engine bay and the fuse block, just much easier access. So let me figure out what I'm gonna do. I would like to put this in the factory spot where the OBD1 port is under the dash. So we'll see how I figure that out, but let's get to that. All right, so next day, it took me what you saw in the daylight, plus some during the night, to get this all done, clean, zip tied, and just how it is going to be. This is the finished product, basically. So, I mean, good as it's gonna get. What do you think? Got it as hidden as possible, as tucked as possible. So, yeah, I think it looks good. I think it looks mighty good if you ask me. One thing I never understood with swaps is people having the throttle cable just way up in the air, just dangling out there. Get that bad boy out of the way. It's tacky. You know what I mean? It's tacky. We don't work on junk around here. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is the finished setup. One thing I did do is I had to take the electric fans off of getting just straight key on power. Sometimes you will have vehicles where these electric fans actually backfeed power through the system, so your engine won't cut off when you turn the key off. The fans, your engine actually doesn't cut off until the power is off. Not power. So once the fan stops spinning, that stops sending back feeding through the system. So then your engine cuts off. It's about a 2-3 second delay right now. With let me show you. Keys in it, yeah. Okay, so key off. So that's what I got to fix, even though I actually thought I fixed it last night, because what you got to do is add a relay. So I added a relay, but being a bonehead and I've been out here for hours already messing with everything, I wired this practically the same way it was already wired before the relay. I got it running to a key on power wire, which literally defeats the whole purpose, because then the electric fan is just feeding back through the relay. So basically I just need to take this red wire and run it directly to the battery. That wire I have to the key on wire, which from what I can tell defeats the whole purpose of adding this relay. Another weird thing too is the black wire isn't a ground. That's a power wire. The blue wire goes directly to the fan power, basically. And the white is temp sensor. But for some reason, the white acts as a ground. So maybe this relay is just junk, but I'm gonna take that red wire and run it straight to the battery and see what that changes. If not, I can deal with that another time. I'll probably I even have the harness fan relays right here. I might just go ahead and run that somehow and just run one fan relay to kick on both fans at like 160 or something, but we'll see. That could be later on down the road once these videos are done. I also figured out the brake issue. If you remember the last test drive, I was telling at the beginning of the test drive, I was talking about how hard the brakes were, and it felt like the brake booster was no good. Well, they have these from the factory, like, I don't know if these are check valves. I've never dealt with these because I've never had them before, but it like regulates vacuum from the engine to the booster. And cammed engines actually produce less vacuum. So this was actually probably keeping the little bit of vacuum the engine's making now from actually going into the booster. So I just took it off completely and just ran my rubber line to the vacuum port on the back of the intake into the booster. And now the booster works perfectly. So we got much softer brakes. I got the new alternator on. But yeah, that's it. There's really nothing else to it. So I initially tried to Velcro this. Now, let me get something out of the way. I hate these transmission dipstick tubes. The flexible ones, they're nice and cheap, but I prefer the factory ones. I tried to Velcro it, but it won't stay for some reason, because obviously I can't drill holes in this AC box. So I just have it zip tied out of the way right now, just to keep it there from hanging around. But I will probably just keep trying to Velcro it there, because that's really the only other option aside from zip tying. And I don't want my guy to pop the hood and then be like, oh my gosh, look, he's zip tied the dipstick tube to the heater hose. What a hack. When did I say I wasn't? But you know what I mean? This is the steering. I'm gonna have to do something right here. So you can see where it's been rubbing. I might have to just trim that bolt a little bit. Just cut the tip off. Not the tip. Yes, the tip. But other than that, we're good to go in here. Now, all that is left is the Dakota Digital, and we can ski on down the road. So, I'll see you guys then. So, I just went ahead and fixed this relay real quick. So now I just have it set up to where it actually runs off of the harness relay. One of the good things, which I'll try to remember to actually talk about this harness again, this BP Automotive harness. I know I said it a couple videos back, but then we dealt with the transmission issue and I just was fed up and I never talked about it. But this is just how you set up the relay. And so I just did that. And then on my HP tuners, I went back into the system, or back into the ECU, and I have it to where both fans will kick on at 160 degrees, which I believe that's the thermostat that's in this based off of the test drives and how cool it was running. I'm pretty sure this has a 160 thermostat. So I want the fans to come on as soon as the thermostat opens, or the 160 temp hits. I could have it, well, for a split second, I had set it up to where the fans come on as soon as the engine turns on. So I had it set up to where the fans come on at 0 degrees so that they're on the whole time. But I went ahead and, since he'll be using the heater, I just went ahead and set it up to come on at 160 so that the temp can heat up to where he can use the heater. So I just I'm going to put some electrical tape around these and clean this all back up, plug it back in, and then we'll move on to the gauges and something else too. I ran the OBD port through the firewall. So, it's a little dark in here, but that's the factory, horrible quality. That's the factory DB1. I'm just going to take this, I'm going to unscrew that, and I'm going to put the harness OBD port right in that spot. So it's factory looking, and I can actually bring the laptop in the car for when I drive it and see what it's doing on HP tuners rather than running it through the hood and through the window. So, check this out. You know what those are? You see what I'm putting down? The CUDA will be getting a 71 front end. But anyways, this video is about the Monte Carlo. That'll have its own video. But now we can get to the gauges. Okay, today is the day we finish the Monte Carlo. Well, we finished the LS swap. Well, no. Yeah. Well, no. The swap's already done. What am I talking about? So we got a little bit of a mess going on in here, but I've got the gauges in and ready to go. Got my cable running through that light hole. All I got to do is just bolt this back in, put the bezel cover, whatever it might be called, back in, and then get under the dash, where I absolutely hate to be because I'm doing all types of gymnastics laying down there, like your mom does gymnastic tricks on it. But yeah, so close. The tedious part is going to be, or the part that's going to take the longest is the wiring, and I'll obviously show you what I mean when I get into that. But let's mount this, get this all back together so we can family, because family. Okay, let's go. I got your mama doing tricks on that thing. Tricks on the thing. Tricks on the thing. Tricks on the thing. LS swaps and flip flops while your mom just does tricks on that thing. It's got copyright, so if you use it, you gotta pay me 45 cents. But so this is the only thing you're gonna use from the Dakota Digital kit itself, because if you get this, all you're gonna need to hook up for the Dakota Digital gauges to read what they need to read is this oil pressure sensor. Everything else, transmission fluid, water temp, or transmission, you can do transmission temp, but speedometer, what is it? Speedometer, miles per hour, volts, not fuel level, we'll get to that. Oil pressure, okay, let me go in order. Speed, water temp, oil pressure, volts, RPMs. This will read all that for you from the ECU. The only thing that you'll have to, that won't come out of the ECU is the oil pressure sensor, and that's what this is. And it's gone forever. Off into the abyss. Well, I was joking, but I really think it's gone. Oh, okay. Whew. All you need is this. It is one, I promise you, it makes this so much easier if you get this $250 BIM box, and then you plug it in here. See it? Plug it in here. Oh, wrong spot. Put it in the right spot. Plug, bro. Okay, there we go. Plug it in here, and then this just connects to your harness's OBD port, and then wham bam, jiggity jam. Mom's doing tricks on that thing. Wham bam. Dakota Digital gauges installed. This is the part that takes the most time. We will have to hook up our fuel send so that it reads on the gauge. You'll have to find the factory wire that runs to the tank, and you'll put it in there, and then our oil will go here. And then other ones we'll use, you'll have to hook up these three right here, as these two red and that black are what power and work the whole thing. This will be turn signal, right turn signal, left turn signal, and then you can add your high beam switch, your check engine light, cruise control, blah, blah, blah. We will hook up blinkers, so right, left, and you got to do that with the factory wires. We will hook up oil, fuel, and then that's it. If you didn't have the BIM box, you would have to hook up fuel, oil, water, speedometer, the tachometer, where's the tachometer, tach. And so those are just things you don't have to hook up because you got the BIM box. Makes it go a lot faster, but this part is kind of tedious, especially when you have to find the blinker switch wires for right, left. You basically got to get a test light, turn the key, get power, do the flashers, test the wires, snip it, and then run it to here. So let me fast forward all this for you so you don't have to take as long watching this as it's about to take me to install it. But let's put this in. Alright. We are all wired up. Let me show you what it's gonna look like. We got fuel hooked up, and I just guessed based off of getting power when the key is on. The only ones that get power are the only ones that get power are the flashers, and then this brown wire, and I'm pretty sure the brown wire is the fuel sender, because at the back of the tank, or at the back of the car, the brown wire is what connects to the tank. So I just took a wild guess, and so I spliced that in to the fuel so that I can go to the back of the car and hook that up and then have fuel reading on the gauge. We got our powers and grounds. Yes, they're all the same color because I just reused wire that I cut out of the harness that I needed to shorten. I mean, it doesn't really matter the color because it literally tells you here what it goes to. So if you get that mixed up, you're probably more acoustic than me, and that's kind of hard to beat. We got the OBD DUV port set, mounted. I need to cut this to where the next person that gets in here will slice their hand. Yep, perfect. So now let me hide this. It's just gonna get tucked up in there. It's not gonna look pretty at all. It never does and never will. So you just tuck it out of the way of your feet and you'll be good to go. All right, we are done. Got everything back together. I just went through this and set up my gauges. So the only one that's not gonna read correctly is the fuel gauge. Everything else should read correctly. So let's see how she looks. If I can get the glare out of the way. Looks like that's the bit. Let's close the door. Let's see if that helps anything. Nope, definitely not. But let's set you right. Come on. Killing me, son. Okay. Let's see. What is my oil pressure reading? RPMs. The clock is supposed to be off. Alright, I gotta fix this. Alright, let's try this again. So, I went back through and it should be reading. There we go. And I can go through these with my little switchy-mabob and look at there. Then over here, I can look at my transmission temperature. Legitness. Oh, let's see if it reads the gear. I have it set up to read what gear you're in. Whoa! That ain't right. I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, I'm in reverse. Where'd my switch go? Not that switch, not the extendo clip. Okay, that's... Oh, maybe it's over here? I set it up. Okay, I have to reset that up. But I'm in reverse. It's idling all right. I could probably give it a little more. But got the wrong wires hooked up. We made it. Well, no. Let's get home first. Let's not speak too soon. We've been there, done that. See how that worked. The water temp still isn't reading. I think I just have that. Looking for water temp. Okay, yeah, it's not reading correctly, but I have it set up on the display where I can see it digitally, and I'm at 104 degrees. That pressing the brake and the flashers coming on is it's looking a little phony. But the flashers work, so I can at least test drive it. I also, golly, I get it, son. You're out. It's not gonna run better till it warms up. No rear view mirror, that's all right. Exhaust fumes. Yep. Shifted, nice and smooth, so we're still good there. It's yelling at me because the fuel thing isn't set up. I'll do that after this video. Oh, it's nice having an actual brake booster that works now. Exhaust fumes are kicking, and I'm pretty sure it's because where I chopped off that tailpipe, they need to be ran out the back or actually turned down. Oh, that's what I tried to do the other day. I forgot about that. I grabbed some turned down pipes, but like I showed you guys in the other video when I did the exhaust, the pipe is round but crushed on one side at the same time, so it's not fully round. And it's not even 2.5 inch pipe. It's like 2 inch pipe or something like that. So the exhaust system is all wonky. It's like 2.5 inch, some places 2 1/4, and then 2 inch. So I just left it alone. He's probably gonna take it to an exhaust shop and either get a whole another exhaust done or just get those tailpipes done. I'm not sure. But it's definitely good enough so that we can drive it. Okay, we're at, oh, and the relay. Oh, I said that earlier in the video. I got the relay set up to where the fans come on at 160, and the water temp just hit 160, and it hasn't gone past 161. So the fans must have. There is some bouncing going on back there. You wait until this test drive's over to do any more of that bouncing. It's like in the rear end, like the diff is bouncing up and down like this more than it's supposed to. What's the trans temp? 80 degrees. That's awesome. I need to turn the idle up. So I took timing out of the. I took some timing out of the tune. Check engine lights on. Check your own engine. Oh yeah, we're cruising now. Just over 2,000 RPMs, doing 70 miles an hour. That is correctamundo because I did research and so 80, what's it? The early SS Monte Carlos in this body style, if it came with a 3-speed, then it has 342 gears. If it came with the overdrive transmission, it had 373. Since we know this came with the 3-speed because when we changed out the shifter gate was a 3-speed shifter gate, so that's how we know. So I changed the tire size and the gear ratio in the tune. So now the RPMs are much better. I don't want to see the check engine light. All right. Trans temp's only 95 degrees. Dang. Yeah, I need to mechanically turn the idle up a little bit. That mass airflow sensor is so loud. Oh, you're a little crooked. No. That's better. Good enough. I'm gonna have to race all these people to get in front of them. All the way back. Yeah. Rear view mirror. Can't see shit. It's alright. Sorry. Not leaking anything. Don't smell anything. Now that I'm actually moving, the exhaust fumes aren't just straight coming into through the floorboards or anything. So I'm not losing any more brain cells. I ain't got many more to lose. Trust me on that. They put another light here. I gotta get out of this town. It's getting too damn big. This road never had a light. Now it has 2 lights. We are just cruising. It's responding really well with pedal. I haven't done wide open throttle yet, but we will here in a minute. I got to get out of all this traffic. But we're cruising. 60. No bad noises, no overheating. Check engine light's still on, but we're ignoring that. I'm sure it's some sensor. I'm sure it's the map sensor or something going on with the mass airflow sensor. But it's not really affecting drivability, so I'm not worried about it. Now, if your check engine light's on and it starts flashing, that's an issue. If your check engine light's on and it starts popping and misfiring, that's an issue. Come on, people. Let's do the speed limit. I can't even blame it on grandmas, because it's not grandmas going slow, it's just regular people, or younger people. Regular people, what's that mean? That's racist. Oh, nice. Thank you. Literally nobody in front of you, and now you want to speed up. Wish the Kudo was this comfortable. Alright, y'all better not turn. Please stay out my way. Thank you. Oh my gosh, why are you going so slow? Come on. And now you're hitting your brake. It's a yield sign. Oh my gosh, get the fuck out the way. The fuck are you doing? Fuck. Give her the juice. Oh yeah, we're moving now, big boy. I'm doing 100. Oh, the drive shaft don't like that. No, no, no. Oh, shit! Now they're in the trees! Had a little backfire there. Sorry. Had some nostalgia. I mean, PTSD. Got shot at. Did 100. Nothing broke. Water temp is still at 160. Trans temp is 118. You definitely got to fiddle with the tune, but for the most part, I wonder if that was not enough timing. I wonder if I took out too much. Maybe got to add a dash. But all right, let's get home. Check these codes. I'm pretty sure I already know what they are, like I already said. And then we'll go over the BP Automotive harness, like I said earlier in the video we would do at the end. But if you want to end it here and you don't want to hear me yap, appreciate you watching. Peace up, A-Town down. Gang, gang. All right, we're back home. I fiddled with the tune a little bit. I added some more timing back. Also, the backfiring, or them shooting at me in the trees, from the trees, that's also because it's probably running. It's usually a sign of running lean, but it could be other things, but I'm going to say either timing or running lean or both. So I fiddled with that some. Now we need to check the codes. And let's see what she says. What? Then what did my check engine light come on for? That don't make no sense. Let's start it and see what she does. Well, it's running a little smoother for sure. Definitely likes that little higher idle. That's it. Damn. Maybe it was screaming at me because I did 100 and the drive shaft was about to explode. Oh, look at the gauges. I don't understand. Why is water temp not showing up? Why is it negative 39 degrees? No, it's not. You can't see it. It's saying, the trans temp is saying negative 39 degrees. Something ain't right. Oh, duh. Because I don't have the BIM plugged in. Oh, brother. But see, this works without the BIM module, and this works without the BIM module. But all this other stuff, plug that BIM module in, and you don't have to wire all that up. Makes it much easier and faster. But all right, let me... Okay, so you're not throwing any codes. You like that stock location right there? Where'd you go? Nothing? Which way you go? Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, yeah, there we go. I like it. Picasso, give me my money. Oh, we're still way zoomed in. How's the throttle response? Well, much better in park, but yeah, that idle is way better. All right. Wait, did the flasher still come on? Oh, brother, leave it to this guy to wire up your flashers to your brakes. I'm such an idiot. I'm gonna have to fix that. But let's talk about... definitely gonna have to get a different drive shaft. That drive shaft is definitely not balanced correctly. That's why you might have heard the vibration, but it was about to blow apart under the car. But it also had already started sound. I could already knew it was an issue when I just got on the road to do like more than 40, and it was already vibrating. So I'm not surprised. I'm thankful it didn't explode when I hit 100. That would have been crazy. But let's talk about the BP automotive harness while I can't find the destructions. Yeah, that's great. Okay, here we go. So we went over how it's all labeled, how it's loomed, how it's much longer than the other one. But another thing, especially for people new, this tells you absolutely everything. So, hey, Hot Rod, read before you start install. That's how I read it. But it tells you, oh, made in America, we use this wire, blah, blah, blah. We got Jose in the back crimping all this, getting it done for you for 34 cents a day. Tells you what you need, and then it tells you how to hook up the harness from beginning to end. So basically how I show you, but reading it, which I'm not. Reading isn't my strong suit, so oh, a picture. That's what I like to see. But it tells you what what wires come in the harness, what they go to. This is the relay I hooked up, which see right there for the fan. And then it tells you how to hook up the relay. I followed that right there and hooked up that relay. That relay doesn't come with the kit. You get your own relay. And it tells you where to hook up the 4L60 whatchamacallits. And then this tells you exactly what I already showed you, how to hook up the brake switch. But yeah, so this is a very good one, but it is much more expensive than the Amazon harness. But this one, you don't have to go back through like you most likely will the Amazon harnesses now and find some pinouts that you need to add grounds to for the O2 sensors to read. But yeah, I also took care of the steering issue, hitting the manifold, just zoom, and that was fixed. Why was it throwing codes and then not throwing codes? Was it like, hey, bro, you're going a little too fast around here. We ain't built for all that. Well, you're built for that now. That's what that's what I spent all this time in the driveway doing, was making it to where you could be driven. I do need to drain the water. Oh, you weren't even okay. Anyways, let's just ignore that. Is that why I was running so cool? No, it's going to run cool either way. I need to drain that and put antifreeze in it. That'll cost about $3,000 today's market, but we did it. We made it. With the exception of me having to definitely put a different drive shaft in it and do the single fuel wire in the back and fix the blinkers coming on when the brake comes on, which I know exactly what that is. There's wires that I just crisscrossed. But tell me what you think. Would you like your vehicle swapped in the driveway and put on the channel? You can email me at Anthony@krustyclassicsgarage.com, or hit me up on Facebook at krustyclassicsgarage.com. If you ain't got the paper, I ain't your player. That's all I gotta say. Do not contact me if you are not serious. I don't mind you hitting me up, just asking me what my charges are. I've told you the charges before. I'll tell you again. If you just want me to bolt the transmission in, do the fuel system, and do the very basics just to get it vrooming, then that's $2,500. If you want me to do everything you've seen in all these videos, that's $4,500. You're a psycho if you think that is expensive. I literally have proof of everything you go through, everything you got to do to, one, do it yourself, or two, what I do for $4,500. So yeah, that's really it. I'm so glad it's finally at an end. The stuff I gotta do now is definitely not video worthy, and at least I can drive it around, or I can move it out of my way. I don't have to replace the transmission. I don't have to. We'll just say that much. But next, finally, I need to. I apologize to this guy. This has been a hassle and has held me back so much that we will finally get started on the Cutlass. But appreciate you watching. Go buy a shirt, please. I don't know what I'm gonna do with 2XLs and 3XLs. I guess I can wear them as nightgowns to bed. But yeah, I know you got some big back friends. I know you dudes up there in the north. Y'all are some biggins. That's the only way you survive the cold. Down here when it gets cold, skinny guys like me, we die. But anyways, appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you being subscribed. Appreciate you liking, commenting. Keep doing it, sharing. And I will see you guys next video. So, go build something.